Make It Work is a series designed to help students develop and maintain work readiness skills while at home, in the community, or the classroom. This is the first part of the series, and it focuses on identifying work readiness skills. We're so happy to meet you. Meet Jane Thorpe. Jane is a work-based learning coordinator at PNW BOCES. She worked as a transition specialist and also a school counselor. I'm Kit Casey. I'm a transition specialist for the Lower Hudson Regional Partnership Center located at PNW BOCES. I have a background in special education as well as vocational counseling. Make It Work is a series of short videos created to help students develop skills necessary to secure employment. This series is designed for educators and parents. The focus is on tips, strategies, resources, and hands-on activities for direct instruction with students. During this series, you will learn about how to identify and develop skills needed to begin the job search process, career interest inventories and how to access them, how to apply your job readiness skills in the world beyond your home and classroom. Where do we begin? A great place to start is by looking at the New York State Department of Education Career Development and Occupational Studies Learning Standards, more commonly known as the CDOS Learning Standards. The learning standards describe the key areas necessary for successful entry into the job force. Today we will view work readiness using learning standards to guide us. Number 1, career development. Number 2, integrated learning. And number 3A, universal foundation skills. The CDOS learning standards are written for students of all ages. They are broken down into 3 categories: elementary, intermediate, and commencement. We will focus on the commencement or high school level only. The standards that we will talk about today are number 1, career development, number 2, integrated learning, and number 3A, universal foundation skills. Note, it is recommended you have access to the learning standards as we will be viewing them. If you haven't done so already, you can download a copy. See the link on your screen. One more thing about the learning standards. Students wishing to earn a CDOS commencement credential must demonstrate mastery in all areas 1, 2, and 3A as part of their requirements. But even if the student is not interested in obtaining the credential, you will see that the learning standards have a wide application, appropriate for students at all levels. Let's take a look at learning standard number 1, career development. Each learning standard lists key ideas, performance indicators, and sample tasks. The key idea defines work concepts. These are the concepts students need to understand the world of work. We will explore performance indicators and sample tasks on the next 2 slides. The key idea for career development. Students will understand the changing nature of the workplace, the value of work to society, and the connection of work to achieve personal goals. The performance indicators describe what the student should know and be able to do. We will dig deeper into these areas in future editions of our Make It Work series. We've listed just a few examples of performance indicators, but there are many more that could be considered. Students who understand these concepts will begin to understand how to engage in a more meaningful career development process. Some examples: students create a career plan. Students apply decision-making skills to select career options. Students understand career requirements and relate them to their own skills and abilities. The learning standards list activities students can engage in order to develop their career awareness skills. There are many options. We've identified just 2 here to give you an idea. The student on the left is in the beginning of the career exploration process. He loves technology and he's thinking about eventually working in the field of information technology. The student will begin in engaging in activities which allow him to discover what it takes to be employed in that field, help him identify the skills he currently possesses, and enable him to recognize the skills he does not possess yet but will need in order to be successful. He also may begin writing a resume. This will be skills-based and it will likely be updated annually. Standard 2, integrated learning. Students can use academic concepts, facts, and procedures and can apply them towards life skills and the world of work. In short, the student can generalize what he, she, or they learn in the classroom to the world outside school. This approach allows students to see the usefulness of the concepts they are being asked to learn. When we discussed learning standard number 1, we stated that the students are expected to demonstrate an understanding of career development components. Notice how we are scaling up. Integrated learning requires that students use and apply what they learn. We will talk more about how this is done in the next 2 slides. Performance indicators describe what students should know and be able to do. The possibilities are limitless, but we've selected 2. Just to give you an idea. Students demonstrate academic and occupational skills in their school, work, and personal lives. Students demonstrate their academic knowledge and can apply it in occupational work context. The ways they may demonstrate their knowledge include using pictures, videos, written reports, and computer-based technology. As we've discussed, integrated learning has to do with classroom or at-home learning applied in situations outside the home or classroom. Some of the many examples include researching information about job requirements, understanding employment outlooks, and knowing how to conduct an actual job search. Another important skill is knowing how to effectively participate in a job interview. We will dig deeper into these activities during future editions of Make It Work. Now we've come to learning standard number 3A, the Universal Foundation Skills. There are 8 in total. You'll see 2 pictured here, and we'll take a look at the rest in the next few slides. The Universal Foundation Skills are the skills that are necessary to be successfully employed. Just to give you an idea, we've included a brief description of each skill category as well as examples of what students can do to demonstrate mastery of these skills. As you work with each student, consider each of these categories. Some skill areas will be more relevant for particular careers. That means that some students may not need to demonstrate mastery in each skill area. Let's take a look at basic skills, reading, writing, and math. Listening effectively and communicating clearly. What do these skills mean in the context of job readiness? The answer is in the mastery of skills. So a student, for example, may demonstrate mastery of skills in any number of ways. 2 examples appear on the slide. The student participates in debates, interviews, or discussions. The student gathers information to create reports. Now look at the next Universal Foundation skill, thinking skills. They include weighing evidence, solving problems, and observing experiments. The mastery of skills gives us examples of what students can do to demonstrate their skills in ways that are appropriate for work settings. Although there are many examples, here are 2. Recognize a problem and design steps to resolve it. Evaluate options and provide strategies for implementation. Personal qualities is the next Universal Foundation skill. They include, among other things, managing and planning actions, taking initiative, and self-determination. Students may demonstrate their knowledge in this area by giving and accepting constructive criticism in a group project, or setting personal goals and recording progress in attaining them. Interpersonal skills is another Universal Foundation skill. Engaging in cooperative relationships, assuming leadership roles, and being a team player are all examples of interpersonal skills. Some ways students may demonstrate mastery: participate in a job interview or a mock job interview, provide feedback to others in a group project, or teach acquired skills to elementary or middle school students. Let's take a look at technology. Many of our students can readily access games and other apps on their cell phones. This is a great beginning, but remember, what we're striving for is how those skills can be applied in the world of work. Notice the standard says, apply technology to identify and solve problems. Some examples of this are using software to tackle a business problem or taking active steps to make a printer work. Again, we want to remind you that the student must demonstrate execution of skills in the context of a work-like setting. Now let's look at managing information. This particular skill requires that this individual already possesses technology skills. And by using those skills, he, she, or they can use their technology to identify and solve problems. Students can demonstrate their mastery in this area in a variety of ways, including using graphic software to present survey findings and construct a computer-generated survey. And finally, the last two universal foundation skills are managing resources and systems. Managing resources has to do with understanding how to access information, knowing how to organize it, and then knowing how to communicate it with others. Some ways students demonstrate their knowledge is by participating on a team to decide how resources should be allocated or preparing a long-range budget. Students skilled in systems area, they understand structures, can monitor systems, and know how to follow as well as improve processes. Mastery of skills may be shown in a variety of ways, including preparing an organizational chart for a club or business, or evaluating job roles and recommending improvements. Let's wrap this up. Work readiness is a journey that begins with understanding the basic concepts and activities that support career development, integrated learning, universal foundation skills. Some activities students can do at home or in the classroom are reflected in the CDOS learning standards. Here are some great resources. You'll find evidence-based lesson plans as well as many great readiness activities you can do at home or in the classroom. Thank you for joining us today at Identifying Work Readiness Skills using NYSED's Career Development and Occupational Studies, or CDOS Learning Standards. Please stay tuned for future editions of this series. We will be bringing you ideas for work readiness projects and activities you can do at home and in the classroom. And remember, together we can make it work.